Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse. And today it's rather dark in here because I'm playing with solar power and there's not too much of it. But I have managed to connect the Redodo battery. So I thought we will have a look at that. It might be a bit of a short video, I don't know. I don't know, I might just be able to ramble it up to 20 minutes or even more. So I connected the battery. And right now I have managed to get it to charge, because I wanted these two batteries to charge up fully, which is also why the Redodo manual for the batteries is lying here. So right now I'm charging and the battery is down here. It's charging 25 degrees, 1.55 kilowatt hours going in. Battery voltage, and currently it's charging with 38.11 amps. So yeah, so far so good. So last week I did a video on cabling. All the stuff is still laying all over the place, but I went out and I was gonna buy some of this 35mm cable for this little thing that I needed to connect the batteries together, and they had a roll of this. But it was like 400 and something Danish kroners, which is a lot of money. And I just needed a piece like that. But they had a piece like that. It was twice the length of this one. So I cut it up. So now I have for two of these. And this twice as long cable was approximately 10 euros. $10, 10 euros. So I cut it with this very nice thing that a very generous German guy gave me. Very happy with that. It was actually these two tool sets over here. Very nice gift. Thank you very much. And I made a cable like that, cut it, and I put on one of these thingies here. Found out that my red heat shrink doesn't fit. Well, it fits if I remember to put it on the cable before I put the eye on, which I did not. There is the issue though that the battery terminals are like 8mm for the screw thing, and this one is like 10mm, and I didn't bother to take that one off. I thought, well, the company that made these have probably made it way better than I'm making them. So I left that one on, even though the hole is a little bit bigger, but I think it's okay. So that's, I hope we'll manage. So also looked for more eyes at the company where I got this cable, and they had all the wrong ones. So apparently I didn't get those from Biltema, is where I get these, or got that. And I thought that I'd purchased these the same place, but probably not. I probably got these online then, because well, they were nowhere to be found. They did have them, but then they had like a box of, well, if they had these, that would have been fine, but all the ones that they had like 10mm ones, which is fine for the side of the inverter, but for the battery side, 8mm is the right one. They did have 8mm, but then they only had it for the 16mm cable, which I could use, but oh, sorry, no, they didn't. They only had for 10mm. If I wanted 16mm cables, I had to go to a 10mm hole. So yeah, but I managed to make a cable. We're gonna go see it. Okay, so in here there is a high-pitched sound from the inverter, and in my last video I thought, oh, the compression of the video and stuff is gonna kill that, it's gonna disappear by itself. It did not. So I'll have to see if I can get that high-pitched sound out of the audio. But I connected the batteries down here. I'm in my own shadow. I'm making my own shadow. I connected the batteries, so now they are going up to the inverter here, and they're powering everything. So awesome. Well, they're not actually powering everything. They're charging up at the moment, so still awesome. It worked the first time around, so that was nice. And okay, I've been in there, so we can see it. It looks like that on the display. On the display it says it's only charging with 1.34 kilowatt. But this inverter is so cool. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. So if you press this button and go into work mode, you will see that I have it set to 0 export to CT. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I have it set to load first. You can also set it to battery first, but well, yeah, there's pluses and minuses for all of that. So, but if we go to the next button, you get like this schedule here, where you can set all the parameters. So right now I have it set to grid charge. We are here. So right now this is the reason why it's charging right now, because I've told it between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock, please charge up to 55.2 volts. It wouldn't go any higher. We can just try it again. No, that's maximum. So apparently that's the good voltage for lithium-ion batteries. For now, I'm gonna charge it to that voltage. I really did think that I needed to charge it up further than that, but as the batteries are like 51.2 volts, that might be an okay voltage for charging it up to, and then it will drop down when you stop charging it. But the batteries themselves will only disconnect at like 60 volts, so there's quite the difference between that. But you can do stuff in this menu. For example, the prices of power here in Denmark varies quite a lot. So here are the prices. Don't mind the numbers though, but the green ones are the cheaper ones. Then they become orange, and meaning that they're a bit more expensive. This is on a Sunday, so it's a bit not average. If we go back to one of the weekdays, you see yesterday there were some expensive hours there. They turned red. So on Friday here, let's see, Friday. Here we have more or less all of Friday. So in the night between midnight and 6 o'clock in the morning, the power is cheap. Then it becomes a bit expensive here, orange, when everybody gets up to work and have to do whatever they do in the morning. Prices are stable during the day, pretty decent prices. And then during the night, when everybody gets home from work and do whatever they do when they get back, prices rise, and very often that is from like 5 o'clock to about, very often 9 o'clock is included. But at that time it would be very nice to use the battery to power the house, because at that point you get the most out of your power. And then after that it drops down, and it's cheap all the night as well. So yeah, and with this inverter you can actually schedule that so that it uses the batteries when it makes most sense. Right now it's winter, so I'm not gonna get that much battery power from the solar power and stored on the batteries and all that stuff, but I can kind of charge up the batteries a little bit when it's cheapest, and then choose to use it when it's most expensive. There is argues for and against that, because well, there's wear and tear on the batteries. These batteries has a limited amount of cycles in them, and yeah, there is the chance that they will wear down or just be faulty before I ever make that tiny amount of money back. But then again, I didn't buy batteries not to use them. So just a bit of a look here at the two Redodo batteries sitting down here, doing very well. And I can assure you the cables are perfectly cold. It was no issues to replace that. I just turned off the inverter and the power coming in and all of that, and connected the batteries that I created these nice connections for last time. No issues whatsoever. I did go into the inverter and tell it that it should only use 60 amps. If you remember, this thing is 80 amps, so if more than 80 amps is going through that one, it should shut off like a fuse thing. It's not a high quality thing, so it's probably 80 amps plus minus 10 20 amps, I don't know, but yeah, I reduced the inverter to do a bit less. See if we can see that. Escape and battery settings. There, max charge amp 60, max discharge amp 60. So yeah, it shouldn't do any more than that. And that is just to, oh, there it is. That's the voltage of the thing. But okay, it goes up to the voltage that I was thinking about, the 57.6 volts. I found that in the manual of the Redodo batteries, that would be the charge voltage. But yeah, I guess the inverter knows all about that. So let's go out again. I want to get out of the noise. Okay, Christmas is coming. I'm not gonna sing. But Redodo also have their app. There, Redodo. And it sees the batteries. So I can actually go and connect to a battery and see how it's doing. From the living room, might not be able to connect from over here. Do I have to move? I have to move a little bit. Okay, from a little bit further back in the room, I'm actually more or less in the living room here. I'm on top of the batteries. They are just beneath me in the basement. And a bit of an irritating thing in the Redodo battery app here is that you can only connect to one battery at a time. Battery system. Add battery system. I'm gonna go and look at that. Devices. So I have connected to both of the batteries that I have down there, and we can go in and we can see data on it. It tells me that it's claims that there's about 1.5 hours, 140 until it's totally charged. The battery sees half of the wattage that we saw coming into it, because they split the wattage. They get the same amperage, but they only get half the voltage coming in. It's going up, but it's very nice to be able to see exactly what the battery is doing here, and each of them. So we can go back and we can pick the other one, and it will turn that one off, and it will turn that one on. And this one said that it was at, that's also at 60% now. Before it was at 51. So we can see about the same thing here, that those two batteries are. It would be very interesting if I could, in the software here, tell the two batteries that they are actually in series, and it would be very nice of them to balance themselves. So battery 1 could take in more voltage, and if it was low, or opposite, that would be very neat. But I wouldn't expect it, but it would be cool. You could do that in software. Okay, I had never seen that battery system before, so I just tried it out, and it's pretty cool. So battery system, and I made my own, my PlayHouse Redodo. So if you go in there, I was able to put in one pair 2S, so one in parallel and two in series, and I have my two batteries here, and sometimes they connect both of them at the same time, and I get all of the numbers going in and out of the batteries here. So that is pretty cool. So this is a pretty cool feature in the app, but unfortunately it doesn't really do anything else than just showing me the numbers of the combined two batteries, and it updates every 15 seconds, 16 seconds apparently, and it gives me what's going on with the battery. It doesn't tell me if I don't get the percentage thing which I get if I go back and let's just wanted to show you how it's set up. There it sees the 2 batteries, and you have to put the right batteries in. There is the minus side, and the 2 batteries are connected together, and then there is the plus side. So I had to go down into the basement and figure out which battery was which and connect them the right way, but there's nothing else that you can really do here. And then we have settings up here, and it's about the same. We can give it a name, and 1 parallel, 2 batteries in series, and application, household. I thought that was the closest thing. I don't know, we get some info. It does the math for me and sees both of the batteries. It will connect to one of them, and then it will connect to the other one, and then I get all the numbers when we reach 0, and then the timer starts over. So yeah, if we go to the individual devices here and go into one of them, let's take, that's at 60%. So what happens if I go in there? I get that very nice percent of charge up here. I would have really liked that in the system as well. When I have the 2 combined batteries, how much are the combined percentage? And it would be pretty cool if they would balance when I tell them that they're connected that way, that the 2 batteries would balance out and say, oh, I need to charge or discharge more than you. If it could do something like that, that would be very neat. I have no idea if they can do that, but maybe. Okay, the charging up of the new batteries are taking quite a while. I think they're balancing, or, well, first time ever charging them up might take a bit longer. But they charge really good to start with, but now the current is falling. It's not taking in as much, which is pretty normal for charging batteries. And we can see up here, it's only taking in like 473 watts at the moment, 8.58 amps. So we can refresh that. And now it's taking in even less. So we're getting there. And also the app, I can see the battery, how they're doing, and the wattage on the battery is going down, and they have reached 99%, so almost there. Okay, we are still charging the last little bit here. It's at 99%. I found some, look at that, it's balancing the cells inside of the battery. Balancing cells for optimal performance. And it does that when the battery is fully charged, or just about fully charged. If we change to the other battery, which is that one, and connect and confirm, we'll see that the voltage is a lot lower and it's not balancing. So yeah, it seems like that these 2 24 batteries will need to have a balancer on them so that I can keep them at the same level. It will be interesting to see if this also gets to balance at some point. So I think that's where I'm gonna end this video. This battery, now you can't see it, it's focusing on me. Okay, it's at 100%, but the other one is only at connect. Too many buttons, confirm. It's only at 99%, which is kind of an issue. I know that Unky Joe PlayHouse, he wrote to me that I could just connect the 2 batteries overnight parallel, and then they would be synchronized in the morning. Might not be a bad solution actually. Right now I've tried and went down there and I put a little resistor so that 200 milliamps is running through a resistor on the high one. So I'm hoping to drain that a little bit, and then when the charger kicks in, it will charge both of them up, so the other one gets a bit of a kick. But yeah, it could take a while. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.